You get a raise, you feel good for about 3 days, and then somehow your bank account looks exactly the same. What happened? It's that quiet little line in your head. I worked hard. I deserve this. Most people think that sentence is harmless. It's not. It's the script that keeps your lifestyle climbing just a bit faster than your income, so no matter how much you make, you feel stuck. In this video, we'll break down the psychology behind that voice and then flip it into something that actually makes you rich. Let's start with the core bug in the system: hedonic adaptation. Hedonic adaptation just means this: whatever used to feel special quickly becomes your new normal. You get a nicer apartment, a better phone, a more expensive dinner. For a few weeks, it feels amazing. Then your brain goes, cool, what's next? The problem is your brain treats comfort and status like a moving target. Hit one level, it instantly starts scanning for the next. So, I deserve this never ends, it just upgrades. Now add the environment. Marketing keeps whispering, you earned it. Social media shows you people your age enjoying life. Flexing trips, cars, restaurants. Friends say, come on, you only live once. All of that feeds one simple story in your head. I'm stressed. I work hard. I got a small win. I should reward myself right now. That loop feels rational. You just finished a brutal week, so you book the nicer hotel. You stayed late 3 nights, so you order delivery again. You close one deal, so you upgrade your phone early. The thing is, your brain is built to overweight now and underweight later. Short-term dopamine beats long-term freedom by default. In the moment, the reward feels like self-care. But step back and you'll see what's really happening. You're trading permanent options for temporary mood boosts. Every time that script runs unchecked, it nudges your baseline lifestyle up a little. And once that new level locks in as normal, you don't feel richer. You just feel entitled to keep it. So once I deserve this is installed as your automatic response, every raise, every bonus, every tiny bump in income stops being an opportunity and starts being fuel for lifestyle inflation. Now watch how this plays out with something as simple as a raise. Let's say your salary jumps. Not huge, but enough that you think, finally, some breathing room. In theory, that extra money could buy you freedom. Savings, investing, a runway to change jobs or start something. But here's what usually happens. You tell yourself, I've been grinding. I deserve to feel like my life is moving up. So you make one small lifestyle change that matches your new income. You move to a slightly nicer apartment. It's only a few hundred more a month. You justify it with, I'm here every day, it's worth it. Then you upgrade your phone plan because faster data and more streaming isn't that much more. You start eating out a bit more because cooking after work feels like punishment now. None of these feel like big decisions. They feel like normal upgrades successful adults make. But notice something. Almost all of these are fixed costs. Rent, phone plan, subscriptions, car payment. They don't just hit you once, they repeat every month. So your extra money quietly converts into permanent obligations. That's why you rarely feel richer after a raise. Your surplus doesn't sit in your account. It gets locked into a lifestyle that now has to be maintained. This is the hedonic treadmill in action. You run harder, your income rises, you crank the lifestyle dial up a bit more than the income, and then your satisfaction slides right back to where it was. Same stress, nicer couch. Now think long term. 2 people get the same raise. One says, I deserve a better life, and upgrades the apartment, the car, the weekends. The other says, I deserve a better future, and upgrades their savings rate first, maybe their investments, maybe their emergency fund. 5-10 years later, their incomes might be similar on paper, but their lives are not. The spender is locked into high monthly obligations, constantly needing the current job, current level, current image just to stay afloat. The investor has options, can walk away, can take risks, can say no, and the emotional cost is heavy. Lifestyle inflation doesn't just drain money, it creates pressure. You're not just paying for a car, you're paying for the identity that comes with that car. You're not just paying rent, you're paying for the feeling of being the kind of person who lives there. The system is designed so that as your income rises, there's always a new normal staring at you. If your default script is, I deserve to upgrade now, the treadmill never stops. But if you change that script, the same raise that used to disappear into expenses can start buying you something almost nobody has: real breathing room. So that's the big raise trap. But the funny part is, most people don't even need a raise to sabotage themselves. They do it with tiny, I deserve this moments, every single week. You know the ones. I deserve this becomes, I'll just get delivery, it's only a few dollars more. I'll add this extra subscription, it's just the price of a coffee. I'll grab this slightly nicer gadget, I'm not a student anymore. Individually, each one feels like a rounding error. Your brain literally files it under too small to matter. That's the problem. The psychology here is simple. Your mind is bad at compounding. It feels a $500 hit. It does not feel a $20 recurring hit that never ends. And companies know this. That's why everything is just a small monthly fee. Just $5. Just $12. Just $29. Just until your whole paycheck is spoken for by a swarm of tiny justs. Look at how it stacks. One food delivery upgrade a week at, say, $15 extra over cooking. That's $60 a month, over $700 a year, to not boil water and wash a pan. Add one extra streaming service. One pro version of an app you barely use. A gym you never visit, but future you will surely start Monday. None of these feel like a decision about your financial life. They feel like background noise. But they quietly reshape your identity from "I occasionally treat myself" to "I am someone who lives this way by default." That's identity creep. At first, you're thrilled that you can afford the nicer coffee or the impulse gadget. After a few months, you're not thrilled. You're entitled. You don't say, "Wow, cool, I get this." You say, "I can't go back." And that's where the trap tightens. Because now cutting those micro upgrades doesn't feel like optimizing your capital flow. It feels like losing status, like going backward. Now, I'm not saying you should never buy small joys. There's a difference between a genuine joy purchase and autopilot consumption. A genuine joy purchase is planned, remembered, and actually meaningful to you. Autopilot consumption is what you forget you bought until the bank text hits. The phrase, "I deserve this," isn't the enemy. The timing and the rules around it are. Right now, the default rule is, I feel stress or boredom, I buy something, problem solved for 10 minutes. We're going to flip that, because once you change how you use that sentence, the same psychological force that kept you broke can start building your cushion. Now let's reprogram this thing. The core reframe is simple. I deserve this should apply first to your future, not your impulse. When money hits your account, most people think, what can I improve right now? You're going to train yourself to think, what future do I want to guarantee first? So here's rule 1. Always upgrade your savings or investing rate before you upgrade your lifestyle. Not after, before. Every time your income goes up, lock in a higher percentage that goes to savings or investments. Make it automatic. If your raise is 10%, maybe 5 to 7% goes straight into investing, and only the leftovers are even allowed to touch lifestyle. What this does is simple. It protects the surplus from your own brain. You never see that extra money as free to spend, so your lifestyle doesn't get a chance to swallow it. Rule 2. Delay big upgrades with a cooling off period and test if the desire survives. Your brain loves urgency. Sales, expiring deals, limited stock tricks. These are hacks on your impulse system. So install your own hack. For major lifestyle jumps, new car, new apartment, expensive tech, run a 30 to 90-day rule. You write it down. If I still want this after 30 days, I'll revisit. 2 things happen. First, half the desires just die. They were never real wants, just emotional noise. Second, the ones that survive become conscious choices, not stress reactions. You have time to run numbers to ask, is this going to make me happier after month 3 or just month 1? Rule 3, cap recurring lifestyle creep and favor one-time, intentional splurges. If you're going to spend, it's often better to buy one clear experience or item you'll remember than 10 new monthly bills that slowly choke your cash flow. So you might say, I'm allowed X dollars a month for fun, but new subscriptions or fixed payments have to fit under a strict cap, and any new one means killing an old one. No infinite stacking. Rule 4, anchor your identity to being the person who buys freedom, not flex. You don't say, I can't afford that. You say, I'm buying something else, the ability to say no later. Make it part of how you see yourself. I'm the kind of person who upgrades margin, not just lifestyle. That identity makes the decisions feel less like sacrifice and more like alignment. Now, to make this real, you need a quick self-check script. Before you say, I deserve this, pause and ask, what am I actually rewarding right now? Am I rewarding stress? Am I rewarding boredom? Or am I rewarding real progress, like hitting a savings goal, paying off debt, building a skill? If you're rewarding stress, the purchase won't fix it. You're just renting a mood. Try this exercise. Take your last 30 days of I deserve this purchases, go through your statements and literally label them. Joy, autopilot, or future destroyer. Joy, you remember it and you'd happily repeat it intentionally. Autopilot, you forgot it until now. Future destroyer, recurring charges or big hits that didn't move your life forward at all. Just seeing that pattern once will change how you feel when your finger hovers over buy. Finally, add small frictions that protect you from your future self. Auto-invest so the money is gone before you can spend it. Wish lists instead of instant checkout. Waiting periods baked into your rules. The reason this works is you're not fighting your psychology, you're redirecting it. The same brain that says, I deserve this to a random upgrade can learn to say, I deserve this to a fat emergency fund, a growing investment account, and the option to walk away from stupid situations. When that clicks, lifestyle inflation stops being the default. And every raise, every bonus, every tiny win starts compounding into something way more powerful than a new subscription. Real freedom. Society runs smoother when your I deserve this stays unconscious because unconscious spenders are easy customers. Naval Ravikant said, earn with your mind, not your time. I'd add, protect what your mind earns. Upgrade your surplus before your lifestyle.
See you in the next one.